a Fuller's 2020 vintage ale here. I'm just going to get this out of the box, and this is what I'm going to be tasting in the video. This has been chilled, so this was delivered yesterday with a box of other Fuller's beers that I've got. I do like that it's got the whole 1997-2020 on the label there. So 97 is the first year of this Fuller's vintage ale that they've produced, and this is the 2020 edition with obviously the serial number just listed down here. Hopefully the camera picks that up. This is a 500ml bottle coming in at 8.5%. Has a lovely presentation box that it comes in as well. I'm gonna first of all crack this open and then pour it, and then we'll talk about it a bit more. Not wanting to destroy the label too much there. Got a little air bubble popping up. I'm going to pour this into my London Brewers Alliance glass. Now there is sediment in this beer, so I'm going to be careful pouring this. Got a nice big head on that. I'm going to put the cap back on for the moment. So I'm not sure how well this is coming out in the camera. It is a lovely amber colour, lovely big head, nice white frothy head on there. The main smell is the double roasted crystal malts, as I think they say. That is the main smell coming off this. So I'll just quickly explain. Every year Fuller's launch a limited edition ale. They produce with what they call the best ingredients of the year. This year it's entirely UK based. Last year they were using New World, New Zealand hops, I believe, in there. Everything in this one is UK based. Actually watched a Fuller's video on this actually just yesterday, I believe. And it had the legend that is Keeling, the ex-head brewer. Now, he hasn't brewed this one, and I don't think Georgina Young, who left Fuller's when they were taken over by Asahi, brewed this either. So I'm not sure who classifies as the head brewer. Normally it does have some sort of sign-off or something on there at all, but it doesn't have anything on there at the moment that I can see. Just going to look at the bottle. Sorry about that brief interruption. Mrs. come to ask me a quick question there. So where was I? I was saying I couldn't see any signature signing off who brewed this for the year, so I think it was just down as a master brewer or something rather than a head brewer. I think Asahi must have changed the structure and layout. I'm gonna get in and taste this. Not getting as much of the malt now. This has probably been left to settle for a few minutes. It's a bit flavour changes as you the first initial aromas and taste, and then afterwards. So I'll tell you what, you don't feel the ABV as much on this. There's definitely the aftertaste, a bit of caramel, and there's another taste in there. It could be toffees and something that I'm getting in there at the back, but it's first flavour's quite malty, and then afterwards you get a bit of roast, a bit of caramel coming afterwards at the end. Now, as I said, they've been doing these since 1997. I've been buying them every year since I think 2013, but I do have a few of the old ones that I've managed to purchase as well. I don't know how many they produce every year. It normally is around 8.5%, and as I say, they tend to choose what they consider the prime or best ingredients for the year. I'm guessing in the early harvest, and then it's ready for bottling later on in the year. just tasting it. Again, I tried to keep this at optimum temperature, so I said it was delivered yesterday. I've left it a day to settle. Not the best, should leave it longer. You need to store it upright. I've got 2 more bottles of this, which I'm going to keep and open at some other time in the future. These are recommended for conditioning and aging, so the best before date is on the back there. Hopefully it comes in the camera. So this is 31st of December 2030, so 10 years, but you can keep them much longer. So I've got ones that are over 10 years, and I will open them at some stages like a wine, and the flavours will change and develop. So right now this is fresh and young, and that's why I think maybe the more maltiness and the caramels coming through, but it will change over time. Have a quick sip. I'm just going to quickly go on the Fuller's website. So the vintage ale is £6 for a single bottle. They normally sell them in Waitrose, but I've not seen them out this year, which is why I bought it direct from Fuller's, along with a few other beers. 40 IBUs. They have a pale chocolate and double roasted crystal malt. So that's the roasted flavour that's coming through. I'm not picking up chocolate actually. I'm not picking up chocolate at the moment, but it depends on your palate and depends if it changes over time as well. And the hops are Target, Jester and Godiva. Rich in caramel and raisin and malty sweetness. It's definitely sweet. Has to be sweet. The whole idea that there is yeast in this, and it will carry on doing a secondary fermentation in the bottle through the years, which changes that taste. It needs that sugar in there so the yeast can survive and carry on doing their job. It is, I said originally I couldn't taste the ABV, but as I sip through it, I feel the warmth coming through. It's a warming beer, and again, it's terrible weather today. It's windy and raining outside. It's already dark because it's winter months. I've got the heating on. I can feel the warmth coming off the heating, and I got a warmth of this as I drink it. Oh, that's really nice. The Fuller's Vintage is not an everyday beer, and the fact that you've got to age it will change its taste profile. And they normally say the taste profile go in 6-month cycles up and down at that stage. So to pick when to do it, you'd have to buy, as they say, like 24 bottles and open one every 6 months to find out what you think is the best. But your taste buds change during that period as well, so your taste of what may be good change. The boxing, really nice as well, that goes with it. The only thing I get about the boxing is obviously it doesn't have the number printed on the bottle, but that's mass produced. This is individually produced. I'm not sure how many bottles they've actually made for the year. That'd be interesting to know. They must have produced at least, they've got a 0 on there, so at least 100,000 bottles, but I would imagine the run would be much higher than that. I know they've had cask at certain Fuller's pubs in London, and probably elsewhere outside London, Fuller's pubs. But with lockdown and everything, I've not been able to try it as I normally would. Normally I would be trying it direct from the cask, and most of the times that's been at the brewery or the Great British Beer Festival as well. So I've had to settle with the bottle this year, direct from it. I would say it's something definitely to try, but £6 is not bad for what is normally along the lines of a barley wine. So for £6, it's a good beer to try. Each year you don't know what you're going to get, so that's a nice surprise as well. I don't think, I know it sounds weird, watching the Fuller's video, Keeling didn't seem that impressed by this year's one. No offence, he didn't look that impressed. Whereas when he started talking about his one from 2011 or 10, obviously he brewed it and he goes into all the details, but he shows enthusiasm, whereas with this one there wasn't much enthusiasm coming from him at that stage. bit of stickiness getting out from it, which shows like the sweetness in the beer that's clawing in the mouth. It's not one to drink on your own. This is definitely a sharer, and I am probably gonna whack that in the fridge, put a cap on it, or seal that cap as best I can, and maybe drink the rest of it tomorrow. I'll pour a little bit more in, but half a bottle will do me. Don't think I want more than that. Alright guys, I'm just gonna have a sip, but take care, and I hope you found the review useful.